Hello, everybody. Today we're talking about the challenges of labor, which is a component of labor relations. Some people think labor relations is automatically inclusive of a union or somebody who represents labor, so they call it labor relations. It's a formal field within HR. Actually, it's not. Labor relations is any type of, as the word says, relationships you have with labor. It doesn't have to be formalized or codified into an actual union. But we'll talk about that in a bit. But it's quite challenging to employ people today. First and foremost is legislation. There is a tremendous amount of legislation related to hiring employees. Whether it's paperwork to the state, the city, the county, or the federal government, there's an unbelievable burden, especially in some states, on the amount of information that you have to collect and disseminate related to the people that you hire. Not only that, you have to follow a number of laws from sick leave to the representative sample of your employee base. And that certainly affects an organization's ability because they're going to have somebody who manages that. In fact, there are some states in the United States that organizations will not want to work in or employ people from because of the onerous and burdensome task of managing employees in that state. So legislation is quite significant. Second is cost. It's not just the average cost, as everybody knows. Minimum wages are increasing. In California, it's going to go up to $15 in a couple years. Significant. In order, as we always say, it's great to get rising pay, but you can only get rising pay if you have rising revenues, income. Unfortunately, in many of the areas that I consult with, the direct result of rising minimum wage has been fewer hours for employees. The organization's profits or revenues are not rising at the same time that their minimum wage costs are, so they're having to lay off workers, and it's a tremendous burden to workers. So cost is another factor. In fact, the average employee costs about 35 to 40% more in benefits. When you add salary and then you add the benefits, you can increase it by about 30%. Second is cost. Third is performance. What we're seeing now is that it's those very, very few employees who really transform an organization. It's not all of them. That people used to think employees are your greatest resource. We're now thinking that's not necessarily true. It's just those few core employees who have a special skill or ability distinct from others. And those are the ones that you want to have in your workplace. You certainly need your average employees, but it's those truly transformational employees that are moving organizations forward. The problem, of course, is everybody wants to be paid the same. And if you pay your few employees that much more, then it causes you problems over the long term. And the last is unions. Over time, employees want a larger share of profits, larger share of revenues, though in some ways, as management would say, they don't assume the risks of a business. They certainly want the rewards, and that causes concern. So the challenges of labor relations are that there's tremendous legislation that one has to follow. The cost of employees is escalating. Performance of employees is checkered. It's not even, and it's those few employees that really reap the benefits, and the organization reaps benefits from their performance. And last is union. So it's a complex arena to be involved in labor relations today, but one that we need to work on, and we'll talk more about that. Everybody, enjoy the day.